Good morning, Hanny here. It is July 15th today, and there's quite a bit to do in the garden. Of course, it's the middle of summer. There are some things that I'm struggling with that I want to show you, and then an abundance of beautiful things that I want to show you too. Also, I just got in this cool garden planner that I'll share. It's the garden planner by MI Gardener, so you can get that on their website. And I'm really enjoying the calendar section. It shows all of the tasks that you need to complete and on which days of the week, and you can fill in like what the weather's gonna be like, and even add extra tasks I added that I wanted to mulch and create this video and edit the video. So for today, Friday, I need to fertilize the corn with fish emulsion and nitrogen. I would like to put nitrogen on the raised beds as well. I needed to water, and I already did that a little bit earlier in the morning. I need to sow carrot seeds and just like sow more summer seeds in trays such as squash and cucumber and stuff, and plant out the remaining seedlings that I have in trays over there, and harvest anything that needs to be harvested and just preserve it or put it up, whatever we need to do with that. I know there's some cucumbers out there, probably some herbs that I need to cut back. So that kind of sounds like a lot, but I don't have to do it all this morning. I could do some of it tonight as well. So I'll take you around and we'll look at the garden and do some of these tasks. Check out my yellow door. Can you tell that I painted it? This was a risky choice, but I'm really loving this yellow color now. And I think it will be so happy in the winter when nothing is blooming. My tomato plants look good. I have only had one hornworm. He did quite a bit of damage, but I found him and executed him. And we have not had any more. Now over here I weeded the other day and put in some of my starts. These are various squashes, butternut and strawberry crown, and I think there's a few cantaloupes. There are the leeks, which are just so slow growing. I don't know if we'll have success with that. Anyhow, mostly this is the tomato bed right now, and those look great. Something I forgot to write down on that calendar, it's kind of like watering in that I'm needing to do it every single day right now, is pest management of the squash bugs. The squash bugs they are taking over in the garden. So they're killing my yellow squash plants, and now are starting to creep onto the zucchinis as well. I hate to put anything on the plants that kills bugs, because I know that's going to inevitably kill some bees and pollinators too, but I just don't know what to do. So I am using neem oil in my sprayer, a little bit of BT for the eggs, and I've also got a little bit of dish soap in here to try and help it stick to the leaves better, because the neem oil wants to just roll off, right? And a little bit of the copper fungicide too, just cause. And I also realize that those things are going to hamper the bacterial growth in the soil, which is not desirable in my opinion. So even though these are more natural pest management techniques, I still am not happy to have to do it. And if you have any ideas about how to deal with the squash bugs other than this, let me know. I am, you know, succession sowing. I'm starting more seeds so that if my plants die, then I will have more, but it's been really bad this year. So anyway, let's get going with spraying. Also in this spray, I've got a little bit of fish emulsion, so that's, you know, fertilizing a little bit as we go. Now, try to avoid the flowers as much as possible. Oh, I hate these things. Look, do you see them? I don't know if you can. They are everywhere. Let's try another one. Again, I'm like doing this morning and night at this point. It's ridiculous. When those eggs hatch, they explode and just multiply exponentially. Okay, it's really hard to hold the camera while doing this, but you get the idea of like what they look like. That's a baby one, see? They just get bigger from there. Let's look over here. Yep, there's one, and there's some eggs too. You know that these squash really haven't even been producing much this summer, and I wonder, is it the pest pressure, or maybe the heat and the drought we've been having for like a month plus? That's probably definitely part of it, but the fact that I'm having to spray, like I said, is killing the bees and the pollinators too, which I hate, and that's probably why my squash plants aren't getting pollinated very well and making lots of fruit. So it makes me wonder if it's even worth growing that stuff here. If this is what I have to go through and killing the bees, it just doesn't seem worth it. So I'm really rethinking next year and whether I will be doing mini squashes. getting a little too hot and sunny to do any more work in the garden and messing with the plants or anything. So the only thing I could really do now until evening is start seeds in the carport. So I will do that and show you what's going on. Before seeds, let me show you the cuttings that I'm experimenting with. So sometimes you can start plants from a cutting of an existing plant rather than starting them fresh from seed. So I've got a few tomato cuttings. These came off of my existing tomato plants and already had good foliage and a few flowers on them. So I pinched off those flowers, put them in some water with a little rooting hormone. Did that with all of these. There's rooting hormone powder in there. So I'm trying some basil. I've got clippings of my blueberry plants here. And like, I don't know if all these are gonna work, but there's literally no reason not to try. So here are blackberry cuttings and one hydrangea cutting. And here I've got forsythia cuttings. That is a piece of my lemon tree, which I've got outside right now, but during the winter I have inside. Another basil. Here is a lemon balm. This is savory. Sage, 2 pieces of sage, and a piece of mint. The mint will definitely work, we know that. And lastly, oregano. Now, some seeds that I've already got going. Cabbage, cauliflower, and more cauliflower there. Seeds that I've started but haven't all sprouted yet would be rutabaga, purple beets, and golden beets. Okay. And yellow squashes and zucchinis, which are sprouting just a little bit. Okay, and then on my bench over here I've got some corn and more strawberry crown, butternut, cantaloupes, and some of that blue fescue, cresspedia. Now, they've obviously been eaten up by the mice a little while ago, so some of them didn't make it, like these dudes. That's okay. This is lemongrass, and the shiso did not sprout. That is chamomile, some more onion sprouts, and cotton. One of the things I'm seed starting is more bush beans, because as you can see, a lot of them are turning brown as of like today and yesterday. And I do not know why. I'm making sure that they're watered. Maybe it's just a lifespan thing. But, okay, look across the road. Do you see the dead grass? They have clearly, my neighbors have, you know, sprayed with Roundup, and I don't want to automatically blame them for this, but I think that happened recently, and then all of a sudden I'm noticing some of my plants turning brown, and like, is that a coincidence? I don't know. Plants here and there throughout the garden, not just the beans, are turning brown, such as these, the echinacea. Now, watering them deeply did help, but yeah, I'm kind of worried about that herbicide problem. Okay, I'm also going to do some carrots in a tray, even though it is recommended to direct sow. Direct sowing recently has not been working very well because my soil is very loose on top, and when I water, it just washes all of those little seeds around, and they can't get a good footing, I guess, in the soil. So we're gonna try this as well. Little seeds sprinkled throughout the tray, and when they are big enough, I will separate them very delicately and try to plant them out in the garden. Okay, it is evening and the beans look even worse. Now, even though I think the herbicides may be problematic, I am noticing some real damage to the root areas. See these roots? They look eaten up and weak. And see that little green bug? I don't know if you can. But when I pulled these out, there were a bunch of them on all of the plants towards the roots. And I looked it up. I think they are called root aphids. So that would make a lot of sense, is that these root aphids are sucking on the plants at the bottom, which is why I didn't notice them before, because I was just looking on the leaves. But that would make a lot of sense with what's happening, where the leaves are drying up and then the plant is eventually dying. So I'm going to dispose of these. The plants that still look okay, I will spray with the neem oil and see if they get any better. Yeah, those plants I pulled out, they weren't even holding on hardly to the soil. The roots were so weak. Oh, there's another one, another green bug. Do you see it? It's really blurry. But that, I believe, is a root aphid, which is possibly doing the damage. Well, I don't want to get too negative or anything, but I'm kind of struggling with the garden right now because I just feel like the pest pressure is really heavy from all different angles, and this drought just continues. We had one day of some rain about a week ago, but no more days of rain forecasted for a while, and it's basically still a drought. So I just feel like my garden is not very full and it's not producing very much, and I'm just kind of struggling with the pest pressures. So yeah, so I mean, crossing fingers for better things coming, and I'll just keep starting more seeds and just keep you know, renewing the plants that are not flourishing as much. So that's kind of my plan, and let's end the video looking at the corn and the pumpkins and squashes down here in the lower yard, because this does look really good right now. Before I go, I want to show you how this MI garden planner has come in handy again, because I'm troubleshooting with the bush beans as to why they're dying, right? And using this little field notes section is actually pretty helpful. So this is for troubleshooting problems in the garden. You've got your date. Today's the 15th. Location, my garden. I'll probably put front raised beds here. And regarding my bush beans, they're drying up, turning brown, roots are easily coming out and look kind of gnawed on, possibly with some white fungus. Sensory impressions, crunchy leaves, dry and brown, weak plants. And then my analysis points so far are, now I'm skeptical of the Roundup that's been sprayed across the street that possibly blew over. I did find root aphids, which I've never seen before. Those are new for me this year, so I wasn't even like expecting that at all. There's small green bugs all over the roots. And we've had a really dry climate for many weeks. So all those things could be factors in this problem. My solution, first of all, I'm going to destroy those dying plants and pull out the dead stuff. Just clean it up. And then I'm going to spray neem on the roots. And I'm going to start more seeds because those plants out there may die. And I'll, you know, just have more plants ready to go. Alright, well, I'm kind of glad something went a little bit wrong during this video so that we could troubleshoot. And I mean, that's the reality of gardening, is there's a lot of problems and you can't control things, and it's kind of fun to troubleshoot and figure it out and solve it and be industrious. So that's what we're gonna do, and yeah, and it'll just be what it is, and we're still getting lots of great growth out of the garden, and it's still beautiful. So no problem in the end, really. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Stay tuned for more garden videos soon. Bye for now.